Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Building a Nation with Polonia Warszawa. We are now bombing into Season 3 of this save. It feels weird that we're that far in after only a couple of weeks, but I like the progress we're making so far. I think it's good to just be getting games under our belt, and I like the little bonus live comms, even if what happened in the last episode happens. Sometimes it's just unavoidable. But today I thought we'd start on the page of Tomasz Kokoszka, a guy who sort of sprung up out of nowhere towards the end of last season and has staked a claim to being our first choice left back, the young 18-year-old. We've had some big bids for him. I think one of the bids we had in right at the end of the window was nearly £70,000. And that was just the initial offer. I turned them all down and they've all agreed to stay. But we had some big bids towards the end for the likes of Kokoszka, Kaminski, Zaborowski, all of our young talents basically, but they've all stayed and that's making me very happy. Apparently his surname translates to hen, but I might just start calling him Coco from now on because why the hell not? Kokoszka is very reminiscent of Bruno Bridges. Under his stewardship, I think Kokoszka will become a star. I would really like that to be the case, in all honesty. If that potential is anything to go by, maybe there's hope. I'm just a bit concerned by things like his consistency and stuff like that. We are training him for that wing-back role now, so hopefully, he's still 18, lots of room to grow, with lots of first-team football he can improve. Still laughing at that third pinball goal against Crowbury. The own goal deserved to go in, unlucky not to go off the post. Yeah, that goal against Crowbury, the third one, those of you that might not have watched the final day of the season game, you might want to just go back and watch the live com in that match. Some of the goals that we scored in that game were just crazy, and not because they were good, they were dreadful. We had one go in, hit the post and going off the goalkeeper. A goalkeeper and defender mucked one up and Wisniewski put it to an empty net, and there was also one where the ball hit about 7 people before going into the back of the net eventually. I nearly lost my damn mind. It was brilliant. Begin with saying how much money Motor are throwing around to get promoted, and they're going to get relegated to the 4th tier. Yikes. Yeah, that was definitely a yikes from me. The fact that they're now back in the 4th division is insanity. It really, really is. I really hope though that our B team do start going up the leagues at some point too, because our under-19s are smashing it. They just got promoted to the top flight of under-19s, and at the moment they are 5 points clear at the top of the league and have only lost 1 match this season. The under-19s are playing a blinder, and I would love them to win some silverware this year. How do you scout a club's youth intake? Okay, we get this question a fair amount, so I'm just going to go over it very quickly now. This is how you do it. You do Control W, bam, and it will bring you to the world page. You go to the transfers page, you go youth intake, and obviously there's not been any youth intakes for a while. Here we go. So there's been a youth intake in South America. Obviously we can't do anything with that one. All you do, select one, select a few, go scouting, get scout report. Obviously I can't at the moment, and then it will the scouts over time, because you'll have to select a lot of players, and eventually your scouts will eventually send you inboxes with the players' initial reports. Have a look at them, and then you can sort of start sorting them out from there basically, and you just slowly whittle them down, send scouts to look at players more that you might like. That's all I've basically been doing, and I've started to build up a nice little shortlist, and as the more scouts you get, the easier this gets. If you've got 1 or 2, it's going to take a while, but if you've got like 20 like I did with Stockport, it is very, very fast. Given the ball playing nature of the team, would it work to have a DM as a regista and the DLP as a centre box? So basically the reason I don't want to do that is because I don't want to change the DLP role, because Zavjikrai is that role, and that role in our team is one of our best performing players. So to me, that means it's working, and I don't want to adjust other stuff to try and make something else work, because I don't want to break the whole tactic in so doing. Also, I think what you need to realise, folks, is that a regista in this level, it ain't going to happen, because we don't have a player that can fulfill it. I had a look. They're all like red, basically. We just don't have the quality of a player to play a regista role. A lot of you were suggesting it, but I just don't think it's something we can do at this point. However, later down the line, we might revisit it once we've got a higher caliber of player. Now, we've had some games off camera, quite a nice chunk of them, including in the Cup, finally, and it's been a bit of a weird patch, in all honesty. I've not been entirely convinced with us, but I still think we're picking up results, and that's good, because it makes me feel like when we do start getting better, maybe there's something here for us. Anyway, let's to the off-camera games. We'll come back to play against Gryf, who are still doing amazingly well. See you guys in a sec. Straight off the back of that 2-1 defeat, we went and, mucked it up again with a 0-0 draw. Tobiasz was actually our best player on the pitch, to say something, and you might be wondering, why is he in goal? It's because our goalkeeper got injured and is going to be out for, I think it was 5 to 7 weeks. I don't know if he's even back yet. So Tobiasz has been in goal this entire period, which might explain some stuff. I don't know. It's been frustrating. There's been quite a few injuries. But we just weren't particularly good. Still created a couple of chances and maybe should have won. And the fact that we had a penalty in the 91st minute, which Mateusz Bocznak missed, another penalty miss. It's frustrating as all hell. We just don't seem to have any kind of... The one thing Pichara does is he scores penalties, and we just don't seem to have anyone in the team that can put them away for us at the moment. This should have been 3 points, but it wasn't a 0-0 draw, and suddenly that was 1 point from those games, and we slipped down, I believe, after this, because of other games going around us, we slipped down to 13th in the league because of how tight it was, and I was starting to get a little bit worried. Thankfully, though, we did right the ship in the next match against a team struggling towards the bottom of the league, but look at the chances they created. If anything, they were probably the better side in this league. We kept all more the ball, but they were still able to fashion stuff. And it feels like at this level, we can play the same style as we were in recent years, except that teams are going to be able to break that press and create a bit more against us because they've got a higher caliber player. And that seems to be the case. I think we got away with it a bit in this one. We took the lead early on through corner whipped in, and there was Biazalo again. He's really lethal from set pieces. Him and Kasalik, unbelievable from those positions. We then added another one on 53 minutes. We got the ball, ran through, the ball was rolled across to Sebastian Zavcicrai, and he made it 2-0 with his second of the season. That was really against the run of play, really. We had all the ball, but we just couldn't create anything, and then we got another goal. They then did get one back, ball lumped forward again, and again it went over our defender's head and they refused to turn around, but still, Marek had a lot to do and smashed it home for 2-1, made me worried. However, my worries were put to bed when Mateusz Góra wrapped up the match at 3-1 in the 90th minute to give us a victory. We really did need that because we were starting to get a little bit confused, but Malak again put in an absolute storming performance. Once again, he's brilliant, 2 assists tonight. And then next against Wiggly, it was more of the same. These guys were really struggling. 17th in the league when we came into this match. And they really gave us a good run for our money. Again, look at the number of chances they created. That's the thing about these two games. I was really noticing just how bad we were at keeping teams out. We did take the lead on the 18th minute. Zavcicrai, again, 2-2 for him, gets the ball just inside the D and bends one into the far corner in classic Zavcicrai style. But then they got the ball out on the right, ball was whipped in behind, and nobody was there. And Piak was just able to smash it home and make it 1-1 on 23 minutes. That being said, we were in control of the game at that point, but then the game just flipped. Again, a ball to the back post in the 40th minute. Our own player headed it across the box, and there was Piak to make it 2-1 to Wiggly. And I was very, very frustrated at that point. Then right on the stroke of half-time, we got ourselves an equaliser through Chmiel, ball to the back post, first time finish, and we're level before half-time just to make things easier. In the second half, we did improve a little bit with some changes, thank God, and we were able to find ourselves the winner in the 75th minute. But Góra got the ball, put it through, and Chmiel was able to make it his second of the night and 3-2 to us. But again, though, tight wins against these teams at the bottom, really having to work hard against them, and that was my concern. And then we finally got what was coming to us over this period, basically. I played a completely rotated side, apart from, I think, Dualecki was the only player that actually played from the previous one. So much so that Klushka and Piachara actually played in this match. And we got dumped out of the cup by a team from the 4th tier. We only had one shot on target in the entire game and created absolutely nothing. We were very, very poor and thoroughly deserved to go out. But I was just getting a bit worried. Like, I felt like the momentum was slowing down. We were scraping past the worst teams in the league and then getting knocked out by a 4th tier team. And then we got what we really needed. We went away to bottom of the table and winless Piast and won 1-0. We were better than them. Like, if you look at the sheer number of key passes, our frontmen were actually playing okay, but they were so defensive we just couldn't break them down. They created nothing. We took to the 80th minute. The ball was played into the path of Mateusz Góra and an absolute thunder bastard into the back of the net to give us what was only going to be the winner at that point and just compound the misery on Piast, who I think even now have only got 1 point on the board this season. It might be 2. They are looking like they're going to get relegated from the 2nd tier, which is mental. But still, controlled the possession, just really struggled to create in this game. Lots of injuries mounting up, which could be an issue. But then finally, we had a performance I could be proud of. Like, still not against a great team, but better than some of the teams we've been playing lately, and we came up with a 3-0 home victory and had 24 shots on the night. Now, it was made easier for us in the sense that they were down to 10 men after 11 minutes after a player, Matinia, got booked and then sent off in the first 10 minutes of the match. He also gave away a penalty, which is where he got the red card, which of course we missed. So that's 3 penalties we've missed this season. Thankfully, it didn't matter in the end. An own goal by Koyawa. Malek's shot hit him and went into the back of the net to make it 1-0. We took a long time to break down 10 men, that's what I would say. But then we added a second through Mateusz Góra. The ball was pulled back to him by Chmiel, and he hit it home again. He's got a few this season, Góra, while stepping into the fold for some injuries and whatnot, because we've had some slight problems with the likes of Ferret and whatnot. But then the Ferret was able to come up with a third one in the 74th minute to head it home to make it 3-0. Really good performance. 3,500 people in the stadium for this game to see a really, really solid performance and another victory. Like, we've pulled a few ones out of the bag that were a bit like right on the edge, but this one was just a really comprehensive performance, and more of this and makes me think we actually do have something on the board. And to the surprise of no one, all of that leaves us top of the league. I mean, we have played a lot of the worst teams in this league over this last period. When you actually look at things, Piast, we played them. They've got 2 draws and nothing else. They're already 10 points from safety after 12 games. So they are absolute crap. Wiggly, they gave us a run for their money, but they still lost. We also beat Brookbet down there too. So, or did we? Yeah, I think we did. So you can see where the wins have come from. Again, it was Katowice. They're down there too. We beat them. But today, we're playing against Gryf. Of course, the top 2 from last year are the top 2 from this year. Our goal difference is also pretty nice as well, but you can see that Wisla Krakow are also pretty solid. In fact, if they win their game, they'd go level on points with us too. In fact, they'd go above us, I think. So they are probably the team to beat in this division, in all honesty. We're the massive favourites, though, which makes sense now. We are missing a couple of players on international duty, including Chmiel, which is a bit of a problem. So Peltzy has got an injury. He might be back, though. So we're just going to have a little look through the team, because I've kind of been messing around with it quite a bit. So we'll have another gander and see what we can do. So Chmiel is definitely definitely not able to play. Peltz is back, but he's not fully fit, so we're going to have to be careful with him, but it's really the only choice we've got. I think Bochnak should be fit again. Mateusz Gora actually has put in some really solid performances, and I wonder if maybe we should keep him in the team. He probably deserves it. Now I'm going to go with Cabrera again. I am going to move around this position, just not to a register. You can see the problem I've got is, look, we just don't have the players for that. Plus, I want a player that can play a defensive role because we need the screen. So if they're on support, they'll get caught out too much for my liking. Everybody else I'm alright with, unless we can change the keeper back. Neugebauer is probably just about fit enough to start again now. But we're going to go after Vaklavchik. For a second, I thought the guy's name was Saucepan. If we had a player with that name, I don't care, I would be calling him Saucepan. My concern is the lack of Jan Peltz. If Peltz gets injured today because he's not fully fit, we have nothing, really, because Jamil's on international duty. Also, Kvantiliani did get a Georgia cap, so now his wages have gone up to $350 a week, which is quite a lot for a player that ain't actually playing that often for me, but that's the risk you take with those international clauses. They can save you some money in the short term, but you got to be careful with them, and that's it's like, you know, it happens. I know we can avenge these guys. I remember them beating us in that livecom last season. Right then, let's go. See if we can't break them down a little bit here. They've got a few players that aren't looking fully fit. Then again, so do we. So it's a bit of both, really. The fact that we're up towards the top of this league is still very heartening for me, though. I guess Pechara's stats were boosted by him taking pens. Kokoschka, already through. Cleared away. And Malik! Oh, he's blazed it over the bar. Here we go again. See, they're not doing anything, but we're not breaking them down either. Gora's header! Oh, beautiful. Mateusz Gora. A lot of people were saying they weren't a fan of him in the analysis video, and I can understand your reasoning, but what I would say is, given his chance this season, he has stepped in and done a brilliant... Look at this. Wonderful piece of heading. That is actually a really, really well-placed header. We're 1-0 up already. Gora with the goal. Peltz with the assist. Oh, insta-highlight. But at the moment, we'd go 5 points clear at the top. Obviously, other teams to come around, but this is a massive victory. You know, at the end of the day, if we were to win here, this is a top 2 battle. This is a top-of-the-table clash, and we've got the lead thanks to Mateusz Gora, who's already got 4 goals this season. Biazala does well. Cabrera knocks it down for Malik. Can we dig out someone, maybe? Zavchukrai. Now we've got the bit between our teeth a bit more. Ferret. Malik. Zavchukrai. Score one of our wonderful build-up goals, shall we? Ferret. Out for Kokoschka. Can he whips it across? And Malik's header! Saved by Domjal. Much better. As this game has wore on, the possession's just gone more and more towards us. We've just completely dominated them. What a first-half performance. Just because we're not creating loads of chances, the whole thing's just fallen into place. 91% pass completion for Mateusz Gora as well. What a lad. Just need to see this out. I say it a lot, I know. And look what happened when we didn't see it out against, who was it? Pogon. Zavchukrai. He's going for goal, and it's hit the post of Ferret. Oh, wow. That was onside as well, I think. That was a great save. Double save, in fact. Ah, bugger. Cabrera's picked up a knot, but you can see, again, he's still struggling. He's going to go to Zavchukrai. He does love a good strike from the edge of the box if he can pull him off, but he can't. But we've been excellent today. Really, really good. Substitutions time. This is more like the us of last year, where we just dominate games, play teams off the park. Gora again whips it wide. We've only scored the 1 goal today, and it came from a set piece, but we've got the goal. It would be nice to score a second one, though. Biazalo knocks it down for Gora again. Oh, what a strike! I think he was offside or something, but what a hell. Oh, they've gone 3-4-3. Please no, they've had 1 shot in the entire match. Kokoschka clears. Yes, breakaway chance. Ferret, look at the space for Zaborowski. Not the best pass out to him, but he's got enough about him to play it to the back post for Peltz. Peltzy! Oh, what a block. That is a really top tackle from the defender, in fairness to him. But at least we've got the ball at the other end now. And we're in again here. Ferret. Can he slip it through for someone? Looks out wide for Zaborowski's through. Oh, what a save from the goalkeeper. If anything, their switching of tactics has actually aided us. Gora with a huge tackle. That should do it. 30 seconds to go. We've got men over. Loads of them, and that's a really poor ball. That's a really bad pass to Jan Peltz. That should still see the rest of this match out, though, I'd say. Yeah, there you go. 10 seconds to go. We rode it dangerously towards the end, but in honesty, we probably could have had another goal. They left themselves well open when they play like that, and we've got the win. Polonia 1, Gryf 0. Man of the match goes to Konrad Kaselik again at the back, being an absolute rock. They only had 1 shot in the entire match. We could have had more goals, in all honesty, and there we go. Well, we're in the lead anyway. 5 points clear at the top of the division again. So at the end of the actual match day, there was a couple of games later on, we are still top. We've won 5 in a row now, actually. That's come out of nowhere, really. The defence have just got better, and the attackers have been able to score a few more. But we're still not scoring loads, that's what I would say. But the real shock to me, and Polish football fans, do let me know, the fact that Piast are bottom of this league and have not won in their first 12 matches, that to me seems like it's quite a big deal, considering they were relegated from the top flight last year and have started this badly. They've only scored 6 goals. But there you go, that's just how things go. So I feel like next episode, we're going to come back at the end of the period before the winter break, because that's always a nice place to start. We do come back a bit early the other side, so we're going to do a few games off camera. I wish I'd seen that, because then I would have carried on and but then, I don't know, it's a pain in the arse. If I'd timed it out a bit better, we could have done a double live com today, but I spent too much time waffling now, you see. So that could be an interesting one indeed. I don't know where we're going to be at that point, but just to get to the halfway stage of the season, which is pretty much what that is, if we can get to that point, still hanging around those playoff spots and promotion chasing, I'll be totally happy with that, to be honest. I'm very, very pleased. Not as surprised as I would have been if we hadn't managed to sign the players that we had, But the fact that we're getting these wins over the line is really, really pleasing. And also, that's 3 consecutive league clean sheets now. Starting to pick up the defensive side of things a little bit more now. Much more like it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, smash a like on the video. That would be fantastic. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll join you guys in the next episode for the final game of the first half of the season. We're bombing through this against Pushka. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.